Zooming on over to the Flash after show here at theStreamtv in Hollywood, California. What's up, y'all? You know why you're here, because you're the biggest Flash fans around. So thanks for hanging out with us, who might be the second, third, fourth, and fifth after you guys, favorite Flash fans. What's up, guys? I'm Dylan, that's Jack, that's Lauren, and you know Devon, the #1 Flash fan of all time.
Thank you
so
very much.
You guys are, as a collective, #2, and then Devon, and that's
always
his,
gonna be
and that's
You guys
his
can
word.
duke it out. I'd like to see all the fans at home just verse Devon.
Bring it.
Yes.
Bring
You know what
it.
I'm saying?
Totally throw some haymakers. You know what, though? Get your tweet on. Hit us up. Use the hashtag #TheFlashAS. And if you're in the Facebook groups, the Flash Facts group featuring John Wesley Shipp, you can talk in there. Flash and Our fan group, flashfans.org. What up? Bam Smack Pal. Thank you guys for hanging out. And don't forget to send us your fan questions, your fan art, whatever you want to do to get involved. This is your show. Oh.
By the way, I think we should just point out that Dylan got fancy for us today. Look at him in his skinny
Oh,
tie
it's
and his like black jacket. He's looking fly today.
Hey guys, thanks. You know what?
I would.
We're coming. We're hanging out with the fans. Let's step it up. Step it up.
Step it
You
up.
know who's not stepping it up?
Who?
The Star Labs team.
I know.
They're just discombobulated.
Man.
What's going on?
I mean,
What's in the water?
Zoom is. First of all, I gotta say the ending of this episode, favorite bar none of any
Don't go
episode
too-
as of
don't
yet.
go too-
Okay,
Let's
I'm not
not
talking
jump
about
shit.
the. I'm
Let's
not, hold on, peeps. Hold on. I'm not talking about Barry Allen not being able to feel his legs. That's obviously very upsetting. But up to
More on that in a bit.
But prior to that, I was really intrigued. I was on the edge of my seat. I was into it. Straight up
Sweet.
into it.
Sweet.
Yeah, let's get
Good.
today, guys.
The team really seemed like they were going a bit off track today. I'm not going to lie to you. They were like, oh, they lost Dr. Light. It's like, how do you lose a supervillain?
Speaking of that,
Speaking of which, go.
Dr. Light going invisible.
Anybody
I'm
wanna
like,
answer that?
okay, so now, I mean, it kind of reminded me of Miss Invisible
Yeah,
Woman, you know,
exactly.
from the group, which was cool. I'm glad they.
Because she got naked, Devon?
No,
Is that
she-
why?
she
got
went
naked,
invisible.
that's- oh, she
Which
did
there
not-
was
she
never
got
a
naked.
better
could
scene
bend
than when
light.
Jessica
Okay, I'm
Alba
talking
got
about
into
she
her
could bend
underwear.
light. She was invisible. Cisco making the
There's not a lot of
same damn
nakedness.
mistake. He is the
Dumb
dumbest
mistake.
smart
It's
person
what
I know.
Peekaboo. Who did that?
What?
Somebody who did that happened in the first season. Cisco did the same kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's
or
what
was
I'm
it
saying.
Barry?
He is the dumbest smart person I know. He's a genius. You are a genius.
He's a
Cisco.
mechanical
Stop
genius.
doing that. If you're not sure that they're in there, hey, let
How
me
about
just,
we don't open the door?
not
Well,
open
you
the
know,
door.
there's a difference between like book smarts and actual people smarts. So
Well,
there's
there was
that.
no one in the cage. What do you think he's going to do?
But they have superpowers. Like, you just don't open
Or
the
you should
cage.
have got the gadget.
And where's the
Tim,
backup
got you.
one? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like in a place like that, you have one door, which is like the main. You know, like how you jump out of a plane, you normally have 2 parachutes, first parachute and then a backup parachute.
God willing.
Kind of, which doesn't really make sense, by the way. Why don't you just pull the second one if you know it's always going to work? But besides
No,
the
it's not
point.
about the second one's always going to work. It's that if one
Anyways.
fails, what are the chances that they both fail?
Here's the
Okay,
thing, though,
but what exactly?
yes.
What we're trying to say is, why do they not have a backup door? So you go in, door locks
Well, it's
behind
not
you,
one of those
go to
elevators
the
in an office
cage.
building that never opens, and when it does, it's like, that was cool. But look, here's the deal. Harrison Wells is here for a reason. We know this because Zoom is here, but it just seems like when he's around, everyone's kind of frantic, and the energy is a little all over the place, and there's just hectic
Well, you can't blame them.
mayhem.
Honestly, if there is someone, even though I understand that this, like, Harrison Wells is different than the previous Harrison Wells, so we think, you know, looking at that person's face, a person that you trusted completely that let you down and that ended up being a bad guy, that's got to be super trippy. Like, imagine your biggest enemy in life and all of a sudden he's like a different person, but you have to look at him every day and it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of
It
weird.
messes
Like, think
with
how
you.
weird that would be, just messing with your head.
What about the relationship now with Barry and Patty? If that starts to take off a little bit, you know, when your friend, your homie, all of a sudden gets a girlfriend, and all of a sudden he's not around anymore.
Yeah.
Is that in store?
Is that what you do, Dylan?
No, I'm around. I'm around.
I don't. I think actually. So
darling.
we initially, Devon and I were talking about how we initially thought that this was going to be a slight issue. Maybe this whole obviously we all know that it's West Allen for Devon. I'm a big Barry Paddy fan. Have we thought of a hashtag for that, by the way? I've seen a couple.
We don't
but
need
they
one.
don't really
Batty?
work. Batty.
We
Well,
don't
there's Pillen,
need
Pivot Allen.
one.
Anyways, I actually think, as we saw later on in the episode, when Barry was talking to Joe, telling him how that there is something, like there feels like there's a void missing. The time when he went back to save his mum, he should have saved his mum. I kind of feel like Patty's actually helping him get away from that. When he grabbed her and kissed her and did that cute thing in the station, which felt really real to me, by the way. I felt like Grant himself did a great job there as an actor because it really felt like Barry was just down in the dumps right now and all he wanted to do was go and kiss Patty because that was the one thing that made him happy. So I feel like their relationship now is going to help
so
Barry.
It's still benefiting Barry. It's making him happy. It's filling that void. Can you see the silver lining at all?
No.
Can we just listen? How about this? Patty is his Mrs. Right now, not his
Mrs.
Mrs.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
not his
look,
Mrs. Right.
Let me just go
Sometimes you
ahead.
need to go through those to be able to get to be ready for the right
Yeah,
situation.
I see that.
She could be Miss
But
Patty,
my main argument is I think it's a little too soon to be talking about Patty filling in any voids. I mean, we're talking about the death of your mother that you saw. Like, Patty, how long they been kissing now? Maybe an episode?
can
It's a
still
little
help
too
him
soon to be
out.
talking about she filling the void. I still think there's something.
Somebody's filling the void.
I
Somebody's
still feel
filling
like
the void.
there's something there that is bothering him and affecting him. And on a side note, we can't forget, like, Dr. Light is loose in the town now. Maybe this is a way. Remember,
Yeah,
she
that's what
said
I'm
she
trying to
wanted
say.
to just disappear. Maybe this is their way of going ahead and letting her disappear, like literally, like she disappeared, she's gone.
Yeah, I mean that's a good. I mean, because honestly,
But now there's
it's
two
not like she
Lindas.
has any business like messing with the Flash if it wasn't for Zoom. And now that she's kind of in Earth 1, maybe she's just gonna chill.
She actually said when, was it Cisco that was questioning her when she was in jail before the whole time when he went back and let her out? He mentioned, she was saying how that was the best bad decision she could make was to kill her doppelganger. She was like, if I kill Linda, then Zoom will think I'm dead, so Zoom will be off my back. So she doesn't want to kill Barry. She doesn't want to kill anyone by the sounds of things. As we know that Dr. Light was actually a thief, she's not actually a killer, but Zoom is clearly not letting her go until she does what she's intended to do or she dies.
Well, what about Linda Park 1.0?
Well, you hate her.
And her just performance as a superhero.
They've given Candace like a sister. Like that's almost what they're trying. Not a
hey,
sister,
girl.
not a sister, but that's
Like
what it's like. Like at the
hey.
end of that episode, before she got taken by Zoom, they were like having drinks together and stuff like that. So I feel like Linda's only really there to give Candace. Like you said, you didn't like Linda as Dr. Light.
Well, the thing
Do
is,
you?
I don't, and you all already know this. I don't like Linda at all, just
Yeah,
because
she's in the
I
wrong
know
place
that
at
is
the wrong
Wally West's
time,
wife. I don't
literally.
like her. And speaking of that, Wally West is coming in, and he's not a child. Okay, I don't
can be
want
a
him to be
grown-ass
old
man.
enough for her to get with because now she homie hopping off of the flashes.
Homie hopping.
and that
And they might be
bothers me.
related and
that
stuff,
should
and that's just too
definitely
much.
be a patented Devon term, homie
hopping?
hopping.
Well, no,
like
I
that.
got
That's
that
from the
from
hood.
life. That's,
Yeah,
that's already
that's
trade.
real.
I'm
trying
like
to take
killing it with the
nobody's
technology
thing.
right now. By the way, just throwing it
my
out there.
God.
I'm like,
Wait.
technologically, I was gonna
Sorry, Devon, go on.
go.
My
Sorry,
bad.
I apologize.
But another thing I wanted to point out, the fact that Joe is still hiding things from Patty, and I could have sworn she already passed her audition, quote unquote, and she's part of the team
Who,
now.
Patty?
So is
Yeah.
there a need for the secrecy, or
Well,
is
that's
there
a
something
grown-ass
else?
man.
Joe's
That's his
yeah, I think Joe's
son's
got a secret
girl.
from
What
everyone.
do you got to keep some boundaries?
But is there also something else going on with him? That's
That's
the
the
question.
question.
Because remember, the wife is still around, and there's still some stuff going on the side for him.
Right.
Is there something also bothering him the way it's bothering Barry?
you
That's
know,
my
I
question.
actually, spoiler alert, Joe is Zoom.
Could you imagine?
No.
I
that'd be
agree with
crazy.
you. I think Joe's got stuff going on in his head right now as well. Not only because of that, but I think, going back to it, he's got stuff going on in his head because he knows that
Well,
Barry
heck
is
yeah,
very
his
upset
wife,
right now.
who was a drug addict, who
She
disappeared.
ain't even coming back into this now, I don't think. I think
I
that's
don't
like,
know.
no,
I don't know.
Francine's done. I think
The
Francine
mom?
was only
Yeah.
there in order to...
Spoiler alert, the mom is
I
Zoom.
have a feel like the only reason Francine was in it was to enable Wally West, Daniel actually, wasn't it? To bring the whole brother aspect around. I think that we're good with Francine now. I think
Yeah.
Francine's done. I could be
That's true.
totally wrong. That's just my opinion, like I said.
Okay, so it's Joe's son Wally, and he's on Earth 1, and so he'll be making an appearance at some point. Okay, cool. Just want to get that clarified. That it's not an Earth 2
Just a
version.
shout out. I actually shot a film with the makeup artist who did his makeup for the show. So he actually
Who's?
does have blonde hair. I forgot the guy's name who's playing Wally
Keenan
West.
Lionsdale
Yeah.
was his name.
Keenan
Lionsdale,
Lonsdale.
yeah.
Keenan Lonsdale.
So he has
Lonsdale.
blonde hair in this role, and I'm not sure where that came
What?
from.
Are you sure?
I don't know if they're doing
He
like
does?
a Chris Brown thing or what.
Yeah, that's
but
what I'm
yeah,
going
he
to
has
say. He's a
blonde hair
dark
for the
skinned guy,
role.
right?
So I just giving y'all some, under the covers.
It's going to be
info.
quite funny.
Under the covers.
Under the
Yeah,
covers.
Under the
Patty
covers
and Ariana.
information.
This is
But
the
no,
one.
wait, so we got Patty's in on it now, and Linda Park's in on it. Is this
Speaking
team-
of that,
Yeah, what's
the
going on?
reveal. Talk about the reveal, Jack. The
Yeah.
way he revealed it
Oh,
to Linda, and
yes.
what was Linda's first quote that kind of made you shrivel up inside?
Oh my God, I kissed the Flash.
All right.
Shut up, man.
So let's get back to it now. Keep going with what you were
Yes.
talking about,
Well,
Dylan.
we were just saying, with that, some girl that reacts like that, I mean, because, oh my God, Jack,
I kissed the Flash. Oh, I was so mad.
Time out. You guys are always talking about how girls should just be, dropping their panties for the Flash and all this other stuff. And now that a girl's actually like,
good
oh my
point,
God, the
Lauren.
Flash, and now you guys are gonna hate on the girl.
Everything that's going, we're not hating on her, but everything, my hair probably looks so like a bad hat hair. Everything that's going on right now, and that is the first thing you said? Like, come on, man.
Well, it's
I
just
mean,
a
I
que-
get it, you'd be overwhelmed by it, and you're like, yeah, I guess they're superhero. But the fact of the matter is, that ain't what's important right now.
Right.
Fact of the matter is,
Listen,
someone
I've
trying
heard
to
you
kill
gush and geek out over hot girls before, so I can only imagine the world could be falling off. But if it was like your dream girl and she just made out
Wonder
with you,
Woman is pretty hot. I'd love to get into
Jack,
I will
I think
say,
you,
um,
I think you may
but-
have uttered similar words.
Now the extension of all these extra people, is this going to discombobulate the group even more? Is it unnecessary? It's a little superfluous.
It's kind of like when
there's a
there's
lot
too
of
many
people
cooks in the
coming in,
kitchen
right?
sort of situation.
Hey,
it's like, where
I
do you-
like that.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm feeling that one.
It's, you know, it's figuring out the chain of command. It's figuring out what your role is. When you're adding in so many new people to a group, you have to kind of reacclimate to what part you're going to play.
Yeah, speaking of what, Devon?
Yeah.
I was actually going to say, speaking of more people and whatnot, we did see Jesse Quick and we saw Wells's flashbacks.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's good everybody's in cahoots
Let's-
now
Yes.
about the story.
Before we get
cahoots,
into the
I love that phrase.
flashback, and I throw out a couple of shout outs at Jake Larson, at PokeMark291, and Spanky445. I will say, did y'all notice the hood reveal on TV when they were saying Robert McQueen? Robert Queen.
McQueen.
No, Robert Queen instead of Oliver Queen. I was like, I was saying Arrow is CW's Batman, and that's the Flashpoint timeline right there where Thomas Wayne was Batman instead of Bruce.
Yep.
I feel like Earth 2 was giving you that as well.
And
So,
where can they
bam.
check that out? What Justice League movie is all about that if they want to? Isn't it like
The Flashpoint Paradox?
Justice
Oh,
League?
yeah, Flashpoint Paradox.
Check that out. You'd be all caught up to speed, and you'll see Batman with like a red logo. Yes.
And red eyes and guns.
he's
He's
old.
very,
And
Thomas
he's
Wayne is
old.
ruthless.
Oh, in
Thomas Wayne is
yeah,
Batman.
the Flashpoint Paradox.
By a show of hands in the room here and at home, who likes Zoom?
You know what? Wait, before I do this,
yeah,
I
he's
will say
super
I do
badass.
not like that he's beating Barry because I'm all team Barry, West Allen, all that.
Absolutely.
It's about time we got his ass.
He is using the Speed Force the way Barry should be using the
Well,
Speed
we
Force.
actually have
so I
a
will raise
fact.
something.
We have a fact about Zoom as to why he's so fast, because he went way faster than Barry today, and it made Barry look slow. Unlike most speedsters, Zoom controls time around him instead of running at superhuman speed, like the Flash. This allows him to go faster or slower in time than everyone around him. It's almost like clock stop.
That's a really awesome
That
Facebook
movie.
group, by
So
the
wait,
way.
that's
What is the
crazy.
That's the Barry. It was just on there. If we can show that picture, I'm not 100% sure if we can. It was on there. It's the Barry Allen character Facebook page.
Ooh.
It's really cool. I found that quote.
There it is.
There you go. See the little
Fact
bit at the
number
bottom.
224. All your flash facts and more.
Well,
Right
then,
there.
then, how is Barry ever supposed to beat him? Because by that logic, then no matter how fast Barry goes, Zoom can always.
And
I feel
also, how
like
do
it's
you get
kind
that
of
in
David
time?
and Goliath.
How do you
kind
get
of
Well,
that
the
in
thing
time?
is, remember I told y'all who Zoom was in the beginning. I was saying Zoom is actually Hunter Zolomon, who had an accident dealing with Grodd and was, paralyzed from the waist down. But the accident also caused him to jump. I think they said a step ahead in time. So yeah, he
Yes.
kind of controls the time around
Well,
him. He
interesting
doesn't
that
really.
you just said, and we're not done talking about Zoom, but that he's paralyzed from the waist down, and now Barry's kind of paralyzed from the waist down. Maybe it is Earth 1, Earth 2.
The only thing is, I'm not happy about the paralyzation of the legs, just because I know I got maybe an episode or two of him sitting down the whole episode, and I'm not excited about that. But
I don't think there's any
good
way they're
point.
letting Grant Gustin sit on his butt for 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And I think we have a really cool Zoom Flash artwork from Boss Logic over on Instagram, and
This
we'll show
guy's
that
so
while we
damn
check
talented.
that out. That's fresh. So I think.
Real quick, he actually updated that from his original one. So it was originally the Reverse Flash and Barry, but Boss Logic was like, I'm going to go back to it, touch it up for season 2, and now we're going to bring in Zoom.
And
for
I
it.
think Devon mentioned that, every episode Barry starts with "I am the fastest man alive," and Zoom or Jack.
That is
but-
what he said. That
and-
freaked
and
me
yeah,
out.
And Zoom said that, so maybe it is
And
Barry.
it was made very prominent. It wasn't somebody else said it about him. It wasn't somebody said it in an overclip.
Okay, let's
was
do it
Zoom
this way.
turned around.
Let's do it this way. The Zoom is Barry Earth 2. Why would that be true? Any arguments as for why that
But
would
you
be
could
true?
also say Barry is Earth 1 from Zoom is Barry Earth 1 from the future. Just because it doesn't have to be from a different world, it can be from a different time.
Well,
true.
no, I mean Earth 2 is a different universe.
But it's not a different time. I'm saying Barry. So
You're saying
Barry,
different alternative.
Exactly. No. I'm saying different time. So in
So
Earth
future
1
Barry
is
went to Earth
future
2.
Barry.
I meant you're
He doesn't
giving a
have to be
different
in Earth
alternative,
2
and a
anymore.
different
Yeah.
alternative is a different
Sorry, I thought you
timeline.
meant alternative
yes.
universe.
So,
That's what I thought you said.
would you say, is it more likely that he is Barry, or is it Henry Allen, the father?
I mean,
we've
it's
had
hard
some
to say.
cool
I have
news.
been seeing all those pictures y'all been tagging me in with the Henry Allen
Yeah,
eyes.
the
Yeah.
eyes. The
and
eyes
the
are
zoom.
similar. The eyes look similar.
They are.
But
They're
I feel
very
like
similar.
they wouldn't just give it away like
I mean,
that.
that'd be cool if that was a possibility, but I'm still holding on to the idea that we were talking about, Jack, about this quote-unquote Zoom. I feel like that's just the name they're using. I'm still calling it the Black Flash. Okay, because I feel like it's like you said, it's an entity on its own, like Venom, that can embody other, like the symbiote that Venom has, that can embody other.
I mean,
people.
that would be the only way that Barry would actually be able to defeat him. Because
By
otherwise,
separating
especially with that definition that you found, Jack, on the fan page.
Because that gun didn't even work.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, it
no
worked,
way.
but it didn't work to the extent of what they would have
I
liked
mean,
it to work.
he
and
really
he got
sped
away
right
from
out
it.
of there. But here's the thing, and I'll think. Yes, here is the thing. What's the thing?
Well, the thing is, we can't forget that when Cisco vibed with
Let's
Wells.
talk about that real quick.
Where did he go?
Let's talk about that real quick, okay? Because that kind of got on my nerves a little bit. And the only thing I can think about is, so when Cisco vibed with Wells, okay, he grabbed his wrist as they knocked over the lighter fluid. I paid very close attention to this, okay? As he grabbed his wrist, he vibed to the cellar where Zoom is keeping Jessie, Violet. Well, that's her name, sorry. How did he do that? My explanation was that Harrison has a bracelet that is Jessie's. Obviously, he wants to keep something close because he's lost Jessie. And also, whilst we're on that, we know that Harrison knows that Zoom has Jessie, but nobody else knows. Well, we now found that out.
But it's
like,
also,
at the
it
end
could
of the
just be that
episode.
they're family, like it's his daughter. So if you
But
touch,
that's not how he works. That's
Well,
not how Vibe
how
works
do you
so
know?
far.
That could
Because
be-
everything that we've seen from Vibe so,
So
far.
what?
What do you mean,
the
so
same way he
what?
found
Every-
Dr.
because
Light,
every-
he
They're
had
not just
to
going to
use
throw
her.
No,
random stuff
because
in
a
there.
lot of these superheroes, their powers get stronger
And
and they evolve as they move
evolve.
along.
Yes.
So it could be something that it's a different way
Here's
that
what I
Vibes
forgot what I
uses
wanted to
powers
say
he
onto
hasn't
the
before.
point about it being like a Venom is that when Zoom is defeated, the cliffhanger at the end will be like the black ooze on the floor, like moving, and it's like going to someone else.
That is true.
Sucks up
Maybe
in
that
Barry's
black
suit.
ooze could be the Black Flash itself. It just needs a host.
Yeah.
You know?
So
And-
and what if it attacks Barry himself? Like Spider-Man becomes Venom himself.
Well, remember I was
Black
saying
Spider-Man.
in the comics, Barry actually becomes Black Flash for a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if Earth 2
It'd be
Barry
nice, and it'd
is
be
the
nice
Black
to
Flash.
see
You know?
Barry is a bad guy for
I've
a
done this
second.
too many times this episode.
But
sorry.
now, not only is Barry a great guy, but he might be paralyzed. Before we get into the discussion of that, is there any comic book relevancy to Barry being paralyzed?
Well, except for the fact that you were saying that Zoom was
the Hunter
paralyzed.
Zolomon
Yeah.
is paralyzed
Yeah.
from the waist down, which might be a shout out to Hunter Zolomon, you know, because I doubt Barry's done for the rest of the season.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, no
he
way.
heals. It would be crazy if he doesn't heal. That means Zoom is like extra powerful, you know?
I wonder if he took his speed force the way he did Jay Garrick. Remember, he stuck his arm in Jay Garrick to take his.
But
I
in
wonder if
this
that
phase, he
finger,
only got the finger, not the whole
so-
hand.
And then he got hit with the thing. So maybe
Well,
he took some
there's a
of that.
lot to continue talking about, and guys, we're going to answer your questions right after this quick break, and we will be back in a flash.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, this is for you.
I love it. That was freaking oh my god.
I didn't see any of this coming. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
I was like,
How did you get here? No.
kill him, definitely kill him. We're cool. Shade. Shade left and right, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies, let's put your 2 cents in.
Rubbed me the wrong way and the right way.
but you were like, well, we want to know what's gonna happen.
That was killed.
We just want to say we love you all. Thank you so much for your support. You are all seriously the best in the world. and we
Another
appreciate
beautiful
you so
summer
much.
at theStream.tv, y'all.
Here we go, guys.
Thank you for being here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Big shout out to all the fans that watch with us every week. Devon, who you got?
I got Goo My Zone, his son Rory. What's up, Rory? And
Aw.
T Norman 777. Little Timmy shouting your boys out all the time.
Holla at
what's-
your boy.
Can I do a
what's good,
couple
little
quick live
Timmy?
YouTube shout-outs, guys? I've got
I
you all
have
on the
few tunes
chat.
this
We've
week.
got East Blue Drew, Clint Beastwood, Bruce Watson, The Predator, Osmosis. Guys, I'm loving you all on here.
Clint
Thank you very
Beastwood.
much.
That's
Clint
a cool
Beastwood,
one.
is
That's
it the
good.
best one?
It's good.
I hope your name is Clint. 'cause
I
it
got
is Clint.
I got a few for you guys today too. I got Austin, who's at the guy Flash, and yes, I do like your hat. It's awesome. I got at Freakbag22 and at JustJessWCCB.
Well, guys, keep your shout-outs coming and keep the questions coming. Let's go over live from Twitter. Jack
We're
Hind.
doing it. I like
It's our special segment.
At Freakbag22, I believe your name is Jack as well, so high five, buddy. How do you think Barry will get his speed and legs back? Also, I'm on Team Spiver Allen. Sorry, Devon.
Well, I mean, it's good that Harrison Wells is back if he needs to get his speed back, because maybe there'll need to be a little science experiment to make that happen.
Here's the thing: is that even if some of these guys, the jury's kind of out. Like, is Harrison Wells good or bad, etc. But I do believe that for right now, their interests are aligned. So whether he's ultimately good or bad, I think that he's going to help Barry get back to where he needs to be able to conquer Zoom.
Regardless, I don't trust him. And the fact that when they vibed, he went back to that room. I don't know. It's something ain't sitting right with him. And I mean, he's cool. He seems cool right now. I like his very aggressive and blunt personality way more than the old Harrison Wells, because, you know, he cuts through all the BS.
Well, he's walking.
Yeah, exactly. But
Have
it's
we
just
talked about more about that secret room that Harrison Wells had and why
Gideon?
no one's visited?
Oh, yeah,
and
I would
why
say
we
that like
not
the
gone
last
back?
episode,
Yeah.
few episodes.
So weird.
Real quick,
Yes,
I
go
feel like
for
you
it.
might like this one. This is from Armpital Singh. Barry is going to be the new Harrison Wells. He's going to train Wally to be the Flash and take his place as Kid Flash.
Is that how they're going to pass the mantle, you think?
How do you think?
First we got to see Wally West get his Speed Force, which...
First
and
we
this
gotta
is-
see him.
Well, I'm going to throw this out there real quick before we even... Shout out to Out of Time 27. Now, there's a comic book arc called Out of Time with the Flash, and he fights him Future Self, which is a blue Flash. And during the end of that fight, when Barry, like, sacrificed himself, Wally West gets the Speed Force. So I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know if that has any relation.
It
but I
sounds
just
cool.
feel like
Here's-
His real name isn't Clint, by the way.
A scenario.
Barry sacrificing himself
No, but a
does sound
scenario
something
could
like Barry
happen
would do.
if he trains, because Wally's coming on this season, and there's going to be like 6 to 8 seasons of this, so it's not like, oh, he's training him now and Barry's off the show. Maybe Barry does lose his powers for a little and has to be like the Harrison Wells, like you said, so good point. Jack, other question.
Do you know what will make me laugh if next week it starts off with Barry in Harrison's old wheelchair? Because you know they still have
Ooh,
it
that'd be
because
cool.
Cisco took the
And everyone
tachyon
always,
particles out of it. Yes, I remember
and
that
everyone
word.
always says they eerily look alike.
Yeah, but they just had
Same
different hair
haircut.
colors.
Another Twitter question.
Live.
Live.
Go do
Live
it,
with
do
Jack
it.
Hind.
Live with Jack Hind. That was it.
I do like that. This is from @afastspeedstar. Hashtag the Flash AS. What do you think of Todd's voice for Zoom? Because I don't know about you, but that deep distorted voice creeps me out.
I love the voice.
Agree.
I think the
I'm
voice
digging the
like
voice,
makes it.
you know,
I'm
the
really
voice-
digging the voice.
It makes me miss Grodd, and I'm glad Grodd is coming back, so I can hashtag Grodd. Yeah, you know, but I don't know. I think it's cool. It's still, even then, that deathly voice. It's Black
you need-
Flash.
because
He's
the
a
fact-
demon, though.
But here's the
That
thing.
is what they're getting at.
Because of the fact that you can't really see Zoom's facial expressions, the only way that you can really get any sort of feeling
Yeah.
or grit out of him is through his voice. So I think.
And
it's
Yeah,
body
and
really
good
language.
point,
Yeah.
because maybe it is a demon where it like possesses someone, and then so it's like possessing that person that would be like the worst for Barry to do it, and so
I do want to throw this out there, though. When Linda met the Flash, okay? Stop doing this, Devin. But when Linda met the Flash,
Your name is Devon.
when it was originally Iris, he was shaking the face and the voice.
Yeah,
when he
he
met her, he did the voice, but not the face.
Didn't recognize
You
him?
telling me, the man you was trying to slingshot the panties at, we're going to get back to that, you
Sure
don't
we
recognize him with a little mat like this? Come on now.
If Devon just had a mask on,
he's got a
do you really
recognizable
think you'd ever
nose
recognize
too.
him?
That nose.
But you know
is
what though? That's
recognizable.
just like something in superhero world. It's like, you know, Clark Kent
You're
putting
totally
on
right.
sunglasses and you don't recognize him. It's
Sunglasses?
like,
Yeah,
not
relax.
sunglasses. I'm sorry,
Yeah, relax over there.
glasses, reading glasses, and not recognizing him. That's just something in superhero world.
Well, I'll
that's a
tell you what.
thing.
In Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, I bet they're going to answer that perfectly because it's going to be the best movie of all time.
Well, I was going to bring in Supergirl then because I watched it last night and we
Ratings down 50%. Sorry.
Right, the ratings are down, but there's also a lot of reasons. There was a lot of big shows on last night. It's a freshman superhero show that's been thrown in on a Monday night with like The Voice.
This is the
What
voice.
are the other things that are going on Monday nights? It's got a lot of stuff to compete with. But we're not talking about that
Yeah,
right
what
now.
about
But
the
there's
Twitter
just
question?
a lot of stuff to do with Clark Kent in superhero last night. That's why I say.
Cool.
Last
Last Twitter question. Live with
We
Jack.
actually have two more, I believe, if we have okay.
Hurry up.
Quick one. Indigo_15. Brandon Moore. How's it going, buddy? Jack, Devon, Lauren, Dylan. Have your thoughts on Zoom, on who Zoom is, changed at all after tonight's episode? So, go. Do we have anything on who we think he is now?
Like I said, I still think it's Black Flash. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Earth 2 Barry.
Got it.
I would like it if it was Henry, just because it'd be cool to see OG Barry Allen in a Flash suit all over again.
Got it.
And
I like that thought.
Whoever this speedster is, bro, he got some skill because he definitely utilizes the speed
knows
force
what
the
he's
way I
doing.
want Barry to
Dylan
do it.
thinks
See, now
it's
I
Joe.
would like to say it's Henry
Spoiler
Allen
alert.
as well, because Henry always knew that Barry was the Flash. Like, we
Yeah.
saw that when they had their conversation. So what if Henry originally, before Barry was even born, was a speedster?
I feel like maybe when he left, he might have ran into Earth 2 Henry
Well-
Allen, because, you know, the whole thing was open, and he was like, gotcha. Boom, threw the black flash on him. Who knows? I don't know.
Boom.
I'm just making stuff up.
I'm curious what Vegas would have if there's like odds.
If there's odds
I
on
mean, there probably is odds. I don't know.
Start a betting
I don't
pool.
know. It could be Henry, Barry, or an entity that takes over someone.
I'm sticking
else
with
you
the
got?
entity.
No,
man.
I've only got 3. I mean, I could probably do it live.
No,
that's
that's
cool.
good. That's good.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's wrap up. We've been here for a while. Yeah, guys, just keep sending us your questions on Twitter. Use the hashtag.
We love it.
#FlashAS. Follow us on everything. Send us your fan art. Send us your photos of you dressed in costumes. And guys, we'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
And
been a
before
good-
we leave,
yes.
I will throw this out there. At CP Prescott 2016, at NDTV_TV clips, at K Cool Trap,
Last but
and
not least.
at DP Fin 9.
And Lance, the guy who runs our favorite Facebook group, the Flash Facts.
Yeah.
Well,
fan
bam.
group.
Well, thank you
Cheers, Lance.
guys. See you later.
Love you guys.
Who's going to Chipotle? Have a burrito.
If you want more from the Flash After Show, hit that button and subscribe to theStream.tv.